Taysom, how do you feel your progression as a passer is coming along just in this past offseason and this offseason and heading into this year?
Yeah, I feel a lot more confident, playing inside the offense right now than I did last year, and then obviously rookie year coming here. I think the progression as a quarterback, you get more time on task inside the offense, and you get more confidence. Getting up to the line of scrimmage, things start to slow down a little bit, and I think that's the great challenge of this game for a quarterback, is getting to the point where you can play fast enough and take the mental part out of the game.
As you look around the league, and because obviously it is a copycat, there's always a lot of talk. The next Taysom Hill, whenever a backup quarterback or another quarterback is versatile, what kind of sense of pride do you get when you hear your name attached to that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think about it about too much. I like creating other opportunities for guys, like myself in the NFL, and it's not an easy league to make it in, and if you can create opportunities for guys that can do different things, like that's been a really cool thing, and I know I've had a lot of fun with it, and so I look across the NFL and other guys that are asked to do similar things, and man, it's a lot of fun to just be out on the field competing.
For example, up in New England right now, the Patriots are tinkering with Danny Etling. Do guys like him reach out to you and try to pick your brain as to how to prepare?
No, I haven't had any conversations with other guys that have been doing similar things, but our paths haven't crossed. Maybe in the future we'll have opportunities to sit down and compare notes on things that they've been asked to do versus things that I've been asked to do. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm excited to see kind of the transition and see how things go.
Would you feel more pride in being a quarterback or a football player? Because obviously when you hear a football player, it's...
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I've been a quarterback since I was a little guy, and that's always been the end goal and the end opportunity. So I want to play quarterback. Coach Payton and the other guys on staff have made it clear that they care a lot about my progression at the quarterback position, which gives me a lot of pride. So that's definitely a priority for me, making sure that I stay up on all the other things that I'm asked to do.
What's a typical practice like for you, bouncing among so many different positions?
Yeah, honestly, I would say right now my emphasis is playing the quarterback position and then doing all the special teams stuff. And so, I'm really heavily involved in special teams right now, but everything else I'm playing quarterback. I think at some point that will start to transition, where I start to get other reps at different positions and get the reps that I feel like I need, that the coaches feel like I need to be ready to go come season.
How many position meetings do you have to go to in a given day?
Really, I just go to the quarterback meeting and then I go to the special teams meeting. And as we get to the season, as other things start to become more game plan specific, the meetings that I go to is special teams and quarterback as well. But Coach Lombardi he takes a step back and he coaches me at those other positions when I'm asked to do that. And then if I feel like I need more reps or better explanation or more time on task, then I'll go to that specific position coach and get some work on the field with him. But that's kind of been
how much,
what I've
Taysom,
done.
you've done this for a while now. You seem pretty even-keeled about it, but I guess in your private moments, do you sense how unique this really is?
I think, look, I was an undrafted free agent that had a lot of injuries in college, and so as I entered the NFL, honestly, my mindset was to go take advantage of every opportunity and do my best to make a team and then help a team win. So I haven't really taken a step back to look at the situation and what I've been asked to do. I've just tried to take advantage of every opportunity, and honestly, I've had so much fun doing it, and I'm just grateful for the opportunities that have been created for me. Like I said, having 4 season-ending injuries in college, my mindset looking to the NFL, I knew that someone was just going to have to take a chance on me, and luckily, they did.
And Taysom, speaking of opportunities, when you look at your production in the field last year, do you think you've earned maybe 25 to 30 snaps in a game?
That question's not for me. I think the one thing that I've realized in the NFL is that you have to prove yourself every year. You have to prove yourself every week because it's a really competitive league. So Everything is fresh. You know, it's new. I don't have any expectation, and in my mindset going into this season is just, you know, take advantage of every opportunity. But I'm not putting, you know, some snap count on myself or on the coaches, but I'm confident that they'll put me in the best situations to be successful.
Sorry, to the earlier point about the uniqueness of the situation, I mean, in the long run, you might not end up being a trendsetter, even though people speculate that you might be, just because maybe it's really hard for a lot of teams and athletes to pull it off. Just from what you've learned about the experience, I mean, what do you think is the most likely scenario? Do you see it as an opening of eyes of what the possibilities are, or is it more like don't try this at home?
Well, you know, I don't know. I will say that I think you have to have a coach that's willing to take, you know, chances and willing to take a risk. And you know, Coach Payton has done that, which is a unique deal. And so I don't know. I mean, I think that if someone has a negative experience, it's hard to go back to it. But fortunately, you know, for us and for me, we've had a positive experience to this point. And, you know, as I said earlier, hopefully that it does continue to grow and it creates opportunities for other quarterbacks throughout the NFL and other guys like me to make a roster.
I know it's ever blurred too much between playing quarterback and other positions, and is it ever frustrating that you aren't getting to put all of your attention at the position you're here to play?
Yeah, I haven't felt any frustration that way. As I said earlier, I feel like Coach Payton, Coach Lombardi, Coach Carmichael, they've made it very clear that, hey, when we get to OTAs, when we get to training camp, we want, you know, you focused on playing quarterback. We care a lot about your progression at that position. And then as we get to the season, you know, the focus obviously turns to game planning, making sure Drew is comfortable with the game plans going into it. And then at that point, I get to, you know, make sure that I'm ready to go at other positions. And honestly, I haven't felt any frustration that way. And it's been fun because I've been involved in all the game planning from week to week.
Are you someone who maybe might enjoy training camp a little bit more than the average person because you get to play the position you've always wanted to play more in this time?
Yeah, training camp is fun for me for that reason, where you actually get reps at quarterback and stuff. So this is a time of year that I look forward to. You know, training camp is a grind, and you know, it's a challenge for everybody, but I have a lot of fun being with the guys and having the opportunity to be coached by the staff and Drew and Teddy and everyone else in our room, JT, and you know, it's been a lot of fun.
So for you, what goes into establishing that quarterback-receiver relationship and getting timing down and all that?
Between me and the receivers?
Yes.
You know,
especially with somebody you're just kind of newly working
Sure,
with.
yeah. I mean, it's difficult, you know, where you have limited reps, and then knowing you're going to step into the preseason and you have limited reps with different guys. And I think overall, what I try to do is try to learn how the veterans, you know, run their routes, how they do things, and then make sure I'm helping the younger guys do what they're doing. So it doesn't matter who's in or who I'm throwing to. We have, you know, some rules that we can stick by to try to eliminate, like, oh, I haven't thrown a lot of reps with this guy, but I have an expectation because that's what it should be across the board. And I will say that's kind of what I've focused on with the younger guys.
Taysom, are you completely comfortable now in the game, in the playbook now in year 3? I mean, do you feel like there's no part of the book now that you don't?
Look, it's hard. I mean, you asked that question. I will say I don't feel like I'm where Drew and Coach Payton is, but I will say, comparing it obviously to where I was 2 years ago to where I was last year, I feel a lot more confident in the game plan. But by no means do I feel like, you know, I'm where Drew is, and it's a constant learning experience for everybody. And that's just, you know, the progression as a quarterback, but I'm still definitely still learning.
Do you do much as a line like, say, Drew does, where you're getting in
Yeah, I think, you know, I think the goal is to get to his level. You know, he's been playing at such an efficient level, he's been playing at such a high efficient level for so long that that's where we're all trying to get to. And it's difficult, but we are trying to get there. So the expectation is for us to be there, and we're coached that way. So the short answer is yes, we are trying to do all those things that he's doing.
Even though you're not going to break through with Drew, obviously.
Last question,
at this
guys.
point, but you've been through so much in your young career. You've gone through, you've seen some crazy stuff. Has that helped your progression, going so deep into playoff runs and doing what you've been doing and getting you where you want to be?
Yeah, I certainly think so. I don't think that experience trumps everything. And, you know, you have the experience to play in playoffs my first 2 years and actually playing those games. That was a great learning experience for me. You know, obviously the last 2 years we had some really difficult losses. And I feel like managing that and handling that and then being able to see the way Drew and Coach and everyone else has handled it has been a learning experience, just being able to observe those guys.